Hey, good morning. Today's topic, thing I want to talk about, as I woke up this morning, it's a realization I came to that seems like every day I'm in a battle, and it's a personal battle, and there's many fronts to the battle, but most of which, the battle that is most dominant is the battle for dominance in my thought, right? Like, it's really easy for me as a man, the stressors of life and owning the business and, some addictions and whatnot. It's really easy for me to shrink and to be small. And, I've made some videos in the past about this where I call it, I made that video about day one, and then I made that video about, are you in control of your life, or is life in control of you? That's not the way that that's not the verbiage I used. It'll come back to me, right? But I mean, the thing is true, and that's the battle that I'm in. Is every day I wake up, and I'm thankful to wake up, and I'm blessed. But there's a battle, and it's over dominance in my thought process. When I wake up today, am I going to be clear-minded? And am I going to feel like I'm in control of my thoughts and my brain, and be able to stay on a positive note and spiritually push forward, towards my goals, and take action, right? Or am I going to wake up today and, like I said, I've had a challenging week, which is probably where a lot of this is coming from. So, am I going to wake up today? I'm going to feel small, and I'm going to feel vulnerable, and I'm going to feel, almost childlike. I'm going to be 50 this year, and I can't express to you the amount of times that I feel like a little boy still. Like when I was little, I looked up to the men around me, the few men that were in my life. And I looked up to my father. My father was my hero. And he seemed so manly, so masculine to me, and so dominant, right, in that way. And I hardly ever feel like that inside, I don't feel like the world around me looks at me and sees me in the same way that I saw my father as a child, and that is the battle, because I need to dominate my thoughts, because dominating my thoughts is going to dominate my actions, and actions are the thing that's going to bring the success that I'm out here looking for, And so every day is a challenge. I mean, it is a war for dominance of my thought, and it's so easy to slip back, And, like I said, there's that war's happening on many fronts. I mean, there are days where drinking a few beers just to kind of take the edge off dominates my thought, absolutely dominates my thought. There are days where my wife and I are disagreeing and we're having an argument. I mean, we're going through some things right now because of, a potential major change that we're about to embark on. Not really major. We're in the process of possibly moving again, and we just moved 9 months ago. And it's a thing that I've resisted, and it's crazy how that could dominate my thought process, and that vulnerability, that whether it be just because I don't feel like moving again, or whether I feel like because it's a bad investment. I mean, there was a lot of sides to this. For me at least, and I'm an overthinker. So, but there were days that I felt vulnerable and felt small and felt like it was out of control for me, and I had no say and I have no control, And I've since reconciled that, and now I'm commanding. At least I'm commanding the thought processes about the direction that we're going to go and how it's going to, and again, praying and asking for guidance, and strength and whatnot. I mean, I do that all the time, because I believe, we can channel God into our lives, and we can, and greatness can happen. But I mean, I make these videos probably mostly for me, you know, and hopefully somebody out there watching this can relate to it. But it's a battle. It's a battle for dominance of thought. And I never would have thought that it would be that easy, or that difficult, you know. The idea of keeping your brain. I mean, for some people, it's what they do. It's their default setting. They just wake up and their outlook is move forward all the time, you know. And I wish I had that chip, but I don't. I often get myself into a doom spiral, and that woe is me. Everything is the worst possible scenario, you know. And how am I ever going to see my way out of this? And then I usually snap out of it, and you know, it's like a building process. My mind cycle is like a goddamn roller coaster. I mean, it's up, and then it's back down, and then it goes back up a little bit, and then it's back down, and then it spirals, run loops, and then it comes back and it drops down low, and then bang, I'm back up top again. You know, I mean, it's hard to, at least for me, to navigate life when your mind has all these variables, and audibles for that matter, you know, that you're it's hard to navigate life and stay on a steady course of moving forward, you know. And I want to move forward in so many different avenues. I want to move forward in my business, in my construction business, and I have some other goals and some visions and some dreams and things that I want to pursue. And some days I feel, I mean, it's flowing out of me. The ideas, the thoughts, the planning, you know, despite lacking the revenue streams to be able to do it. I mean, it's there, it's evident, it's right at the surface, and it feels graspable and attainable. And then it's fleeting, and then it's gone. And now I feel small and vulnerable, and like I could lose it all. And I mean, for me though, I'll say the thing that keeps me most grounded, and I'm lucky to have, is my family, my wife, my 3 children. I mean, they're all adults, but we're all still together. They still live with me, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And now, of course, my granddaughters. You know, it's like, as much as I'm prone to spiral, and as much as I'm prone to feel small, and you know, and struggle in this matter. The one thing that keeps me like steady is my responsibility. The fact that there's people that count on me and people that need me is the thing that most grounds me in life, and my responsibility. And it's probably mostly the way that, you know, I shaped my own life early, you know, meeting my wife and us having Kayla, you know, soon after, my eldest daughter, you know, and then we just kind of dove in from there. And I've always had this level of responsibility. And I came up in a house, you know, with my mom, and I had a ton of responsibility as a young person, you know, from the ages of like 12 to 18. I, for all intents and purposes, was like raising my brothers while my mom worked and she grinded and hustled for us. You know, so like I feel blessed. Sometimes life feels burdensome, like there's just too much pressure, there's just too much hanging in the balance of the things that I do, and that's how I convince myself that I gotta drink tonight and take the edge off all this, you know. And then the next day I wake up and I feel like shit, but it's like a reset switch for me. It's like, no, fuck that. You got to get back. You got to get back to where you were, and you know, and I use that as a reset. And I know it's a self-destructive behavior, and it's not something that I should be doing. And you know, one of my prayers is that I'm going to make this change and get past this alcoholism thing in my life. I mean, that's it. I just kind of wanted to make a video. I was going to call it short, but it's clearly not short, you know. But I wanted to make a video about dominating your thought process, you know. That's gonna help you grow. And hey man, if anybody out there, you know, like and share this video, and everybody wants to have any dialogue about it, I'm down. That's it. Thanks.